Sometimes in July 2005, a young woman presented herself before a job interview panel. I was chairing that panel. She was one of half a dozen people who were going to be interviewed on that day. When she walked into the room, she filled it to the brim with her charisma and her gravitas. She went on to mesmerize the panel with her clarity of thought and her brilliant ideas. Subsequently, the young woman was unanimously recommended for the position of personal assistant to the Executive Director, Research at the University of South Africa. Her name was Dudu Mokoa, and I was the Executive Director for Research at UNISA at that time. For most of the next decade, Dudu, together with a team of extraordinary colleagues, Lawrence Sithole, who is now a professor at University of Limpopo, Godfrey Mthembu, who is now a professor at University of Durban-Westville, Adri Humphreys, who is still at UNISA, Mthembu, now a professor at UJ. Dudu and these colleagues and many others, they helped me to lay the foundations and the institutional scaffolding that has seen UNISA break into international rankings over the past decade and a half. As the manager of my office at UNISA, Dudu ran a tight ship, a very tight ship. And then in 2012, Dudu burst into the corridors of the People's University, the Tshwane University of Technology. And she brought with her her trademark sense of diligence, diligence beyond the call of duty. If being a personal assistant was an art form, Dudu would be that accomplished artist who, having mastered the requisite skills and the exquisite techniques, plied her trade effortlessly and flawlessly. And if the office of the Deputy Vice Chancellor Teaching and Learning consisted of a symphony comprising players of wind, string, brass and percussion instruments, Dudu would be that exceptional orchestra conductor with the rare ability to hear every instrument, the loudest and the softest, the biggest and the smallest. A conductor with the rare ability to change the pace of song and uplift the mood of the audience and the orchestra with the slightest gesture. We are incredibly fortunate that our lives and our careers have overlapped with that of someone as special as Dudu. For the last decade of her life, every sinew in her body, every ounce of energy, every dimension of her brain, every fragment of her soul, and every modicum of her spirit was committed to the advancement of the Tshwane University of Technology. From 2012 till today, Dudu's devotion to the TUT project was total. She held nothing back. She lived, she dreamt, and she exuded the TUT values day and night. In my career in the South African Academy, I haven't met a colleague more fiercely loyal, more straightforward, or more utterly selfless. Dudu was not a conventional personal assistant. She was a force of nature. She was not an ordinary human being. She was a phenomenon. Of course, Dudu was not a professor. She was better, way better. Let me hasten to add that Dudu was not perfect. She was only excellent. Nor was Dudu always correct, but she was always direct, Given the choice between popularity and integrity, Dudu always chose integrity and did so with clarity. And so to Lillian Mthembu Kujani, Dudu's mother, we say thank you. Thank you for sharing your child with us. We take this time to embrace Dudu Mokoa and Thapelo Mokoa, Dudu's children. Our hearts go out to the siblings of Dudu, Xoliswa Mthembu and Bongani Mthembu. Not forgetting Bomalume, Muna Wamurwa Jacob Kujani, and Afisanang Lawrence Kujani. We wish you strength and comfort. The staff, students, labor, and council members of TUT mandated me to say Duduzile Mthembu will be as difficult to forget in death as she was difficult to ignore in life. But the veritable legacy which Dudu has left us is the great institution which she served with selfless devotion, Tshwane University of Technology. For the sake of Dudu's children and her children's children, we will not dither and we shall not wither. We will not falter and we shall not alter. But with greater intensity, we will keep moving TUT from good to great. Oh, you people of the village of Makapaning Kotaung, where Dudu was born in the northwest, words fail us. We do not know either how to comfort you or how to thank you for gifting us this golden child of yours. We would have loved to continue to bask in the glory of Dudu's smile and to benefit from her amazing industry. But God had other plans. Mama told me last week that as Dudu lay in her hospital bed, her last words to him were, "I want to go home." Little did Mama know that by home, Dudu did not mean Soshanguve, but she meant home where her soul and her spirit belong. Dudu's day is done. Dudu's work is done. To conclude, let me recall a 1991 song by the great Bob Marley in which he croons, and I quote, "One bright morning when my work is over, I will fly away home." One bright morning when my work is over, I will fly away home. I say, fly away home to Zion. Fly away home. I say, fly away home to Zion. Fly away home. Fly away home to Mthembu. Hamba kahle mtaka Bishop Amos Mthembu no mama usiyalotshwe Lillian Kujani. Hamba kahle Mthembu jama kamnisi mvelase kaBhuda qhudeni wena owavele enyandeni yemkhonto. Mthembu ongawadla amathibane kodwa angawadla amathibane indlaluwile nisi wemvula sithi ndlelanhle kuwe ntombenhle ze ulale ngoxolo.